troubled world,
Is anybody out there searching for real life? Is anybody
seeking, searching, trying to find solace for your troubled mind? The one thing that will set you free is your authenticity.
I gotta live my life in a way that brings joy to my spirit, celebrates who I am, explores my divinity. Being true to myself helps me peel back the layers to reveal my true identity and unfold my authenticity. I live my life with no regard for the norm. Don't yield to the hype or the quiet storm. Divinely guided, living from the inside out. If you compromise my soul, I got to do without it. I'm in the world with something real to do, and I'm nothing if I can't be true. The only path for me is one of liberty, true justice and authenticity. I gotta live my life in a way that brings joy to my spirit, celebrates who I am, explores my divinity. Being true to myself helps me peel back the layers to reveal my true identity and unfold my authenticity. Significant others granted me a never do well, but I determined not to let another send me to hell. So I rose up before I froze up, though raising my head caused some to say I had my nose up. I did it my way, the do or die way. Was never ever afraid to hit the highway. Holding on too long was not a problem for me because the goal in my soul was all the live my life in a way that brings joy to my spirit, celebrates who I am, explores my divinity. Being true to myself helps me peel back the layers to reveal my true identity.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I saw some of y'all rocking there with the music. Isn't that a great song? I'm so glad I found it. It really represents my perspective of authenticity. And so I'm going to make that our theme song moving forward. So welcome to all of you today. It's so good to see you here. And I'm looking forward to an exciting day, another exciting day with you. Let me pull up my notes so I make sure I'm going where I need to go. So you can definitely put in the chat. I see some of you have already started your chat box conversations, and that's a good thing. So I would like you to answer the question today in the chat box, your thoughts on how do you know when you are authentic? How do you know when you are authentic? Yesterday, we talked about the feeling of authenticity, what authenticity feels like. But now I want to know, how do you know when you have reached your authenticity? I don't see any notes yet, so I guess you guys are writing. So how do you know when you are authentic? I am, okay. How do you know? You feel free, all righty. Thank you, Agatha and Lynn. You two would be the first two to respond. Deborah, there's a good, I feel good in my heart and soul. Yes, yes. What about the rest of you? How do you know when you are authentic? Is it a feeling? How do you know? What evidence do you have that you have achieved authenticity? How do you know? So maybe you don't know yet. I could have found the song already. Go, girl. Filled with joy, feeling at ease, the connection between truth. When you feel joy most of the time. Those are great, great answers. We're going to be talking about that today. And how do you know? How do you get confirmation? How do you get evidence that you are authentic when you feel congruent? So a couple of questions that came in yesterday, a couple of comments I want to make from yesterday. And someone asked, what is Toastmasters? Several people were here yesterday from Toastmasters. And then thank you for your comment on that and for others that did. But Toastmasters is an international organization that helps people develop their speaking and leadership skills. So it's a great organization for meeting new people, for getting confidence in speaking, for, I have met Toastmasters who've been Toastmasters for 10 or 20 years and never went up the ladder. They just like the relationship and the fun building. And then there's some that really want to be professional speakers. I've been a speaker for the Speakers Bureau, Toastmasters here in Los Angeles area. and also for one of the conferences. So some people, not all of them, but some of them move to be professional speakers, but most of them really are in it for leadership and just overcoming the fear of speaking. So if you don't know about and haven't joined and wanted to go in that direction, then by all means, please do. So Linda, any other comments you'd like to share that I missed about what the authenticity feels like, or also questions, any questions from yesterday? Did you leave thinking about anything? Would anyone like to share? Just raise your hand and make a comment or two about how yesterday was and what you might want to say about what impacted you, what stayed with you, what questions did you come up with? What did you wake up thinking about? What did you go to bed thinking about? We talked a lot about feelings yesterday. Would anyone like to make a comment about what happened with you yesterday? So I guess you all are in the listening mode today. Well, that's just fine. All right, who was that? Rico, please unmute yourself. Great. Hi, Rico, welcome.
Hi, how you doing? And good morning to everyone. Yesterday was a continuation of me, or my evolution of my mental roadmap, and it allowed me to validate some of the ideas that I already had because it was well discussed. And so it's just a continuation on the development of my mental roadmap.
Great, great. Thank you for that. And that's one of the things that authenticity offers is confirmation. We all need confirmation, validation of what we're doing so that we have the strength to keep doing it. And when you get confirmation, to me, is the universe confirming with you that that's the right path that you're on. And authenticity does provide that. In fact, thank you for that. We're going to talk about that today, right in the right arena for it, because we're going to talk about that today. Yes, Agatha, you can unmute yourself, please.
Hello, everybody. It's wonderful to see all your faces today again. Well, for me, I feel fully relaxed. I kind of was swiped into this relaxation mode, and I'm still in it, and I enjoy it a lot. As I said, it filled me with joy. And this is the feeling that I'm looking for every day.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
And you deserve that feeling every day. Absolutely, we all do. We deserve to feel like that every single day. Yes, thank you for sharing, Agatha. I see the joy in your face. It's coming through. It's shining right through. Thank you. Okay, Cindy, go ahead and unmute yourself.
I know I'm getting a Zoom advertisement.
Hold on a minute. Yuki, what happened? Okay, there we go. Thank you. Now, go ahead, Cindy.
I feel really light. I don't feel so weighed down. There's been a lot of releasing with doing the exercises that you gave us to do. And I'm sad it's over in 2 days. You know, I would like to see it go on for a couple of weeks or so. It just, it motivates me. It makes me motivated to know that there's something that I want to attend and listen to and get up and get moving and motivated and started with my day rather than dreading. So there's no drudge going on right now. It's all kind of excitement.
Great, great. That's a great feeling. That's great, great. And just so you know, I will be sharing with you opportunities available for you to continue the journey, because I have a number of different ways, and I'm going to be sharing a couple of them with you on Friday about how you can continue with this community. We have weekly programs, and you were with us yesterday on our Tuesday evening calls, and we have coaching, and I have a lot of things. So I'll tell you about them on Friday, and look forward to those of you that would love to stay in the conversation and be part of our community. So thank you. And I'm going to invite Margot to unmute herself.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mark.
One of the things that I noticed yesterday, particularly when I was cooking dinner, was that my sort of heightened awareness for smells and sounds and just the experience of really paying attention to, what I was doing made the experience so much more valuable, so much more enjoyable, and it wasn't a drudge at all. Not that I think that cooking is a drudge, but I just normally go through the motions. And this time I was really taking in the senses, the smells, the sounds, the everything. And it was just lovely. So thank you for the challenge to pay attention to that.
Well, it's my pleasure. And thank you for saying it. You made me think of a word I talk about a lot, which is autopilot. Life gets so routine, we get on autopilot. And I refer to autopilot as the opposite of authenticity. And our lives become, by the time we're about 40, we're kind of on an autopilot life, but we realize, now that's when we realize, well, what the heck? This is not what I signed up for. And then if you don't shift it, then you kind of stay on that. So part of my role and my objective is to get you off autopilot and get you to embrace authenticity. So thank you for sharing that was happening for you. Now, yesterday, first of all, I want to say Yuki is back, so we're just so happy. We had a lot to do, and I want to thank Agatha and Lynn both for your assistance yesterday. Agatha posted the information on the Facebook page, and I know Lynn sent to many of you the meeting chats. And so we have determined our gifts for the first 2 days, and they are the people I just mentioned. So Agatha, I want to acknowledge you first. And we have a very special gift for you. And I'm going to ask Yuki to come on and share with you what your gift is. Your gift is from one of our people that are on the call. So Yuki, would you please come on and share what Agatha's gift is?
Of course. Thank you so much, guys, for all the help yesterday and for filling in. I really appreciate it. And for Agatha's gift, you actually get a free PDF with loads of tips on authentic communication from our multimedia artist and communication skills coach named Deborah Claire Proctor. You can just send her a quick message and you can just say that you were in the challenge and she'll book you right in with a free personal 40 session. So you can figure out how you can more fully raise your voice and reach out to your network.
Great. Thank you, Yuki. And is Deborah on the call? Deborah, if you're on the call, just unmute yourself a moment and just say hi. For those that don't know that you are an authenticity and a multimedia artist. So I don't know if you're on the call or not right now. You've been very active all week. And if not, maybe you'll be on there later and we'll introduce you then. So Lynn, I'd like to thank you for your assistance yesterday. And you did a lot of postings and sharing, and you also helped people that did not get the meeting chat yesterday. And so for you, I am offering you my book, my ebook, 10 Steps to Authenticity. This is the first book I wrote, and it is in an ebook form now. And it is about the research I did about authenticity that caused me to get to where I am now. I'll be introducing to you my authenticity grid on Friday, so that you'll know a little bit more about how I do all this stuff, work with authenticity, and know more about how we go forward. So thank you. Again, we will have prizes tomorrow and Friday. If you would like to be a prize winner, then it's about your participation. Speaking up in class when you get a chance to do that, and I'll be asking you to do that soon. We're going to have breakout rooms later and sharing from the breakout rooms, making comments in the chat box, sharing your thoughts, asking questions, and also posting on the Facebook page. We do check, and now that Yuki's here, she's our big checker. And she'll be checking to make sure. And she did. Everyone that said they did not get accepted, you are now all accepted. You were all in the Facebook group. If you're not, Yuki, please put the Facebook group link in the chat box so that those that have not yet joined the Facebook group can do that. Thank you. So as I said, I'm excited about today because I get to talk about something that's really, really, really special to me and has been a part of my life for a lot of years, a lot of decades. And it's going to expand your understanding of when I say unseen supporters. I mentioned unseen supporters, I think, on Monday. And unseen supporters I refer to as the energy around us. You know, we talk about spirit and purpose and ancestors and Holy Spirit and universe, and we all call this energy something different. And to me, you know you're authentic when the unseen energies and the seen energies are working together, are working in collaboration, are partnering. Doc V commented yesterday that she hadn't looked at that as a partnership. And I want you to look at your inner voice, your authentic voice, as the best partner you could possibly have in the world, because it's a partner only to you. And it is specifically there to assist and guide you. And so what's important to you is to make that partnership, create it, and know how to sustain it. And it certainly has proven to me the existence of something way beyond what I know. You know, one proof of that to me is just the fact that human beings exist. You know, true, you know, we have sex and that's how we create babies, but we don't make babies. You know, they make babies in test tubes, so they don't know how to make babies, right? Because there's some energy, some source, something more powerful, whatever you may call it, that actually makes these things happen. And we're just, you know, the soldiers, if you will. I always get tickled when people say, I'm doing this project and God is with me. And I always say, well, are you with God? I mean, after all, who's the architect? Who got you here? You didn't get here by yourself. Who keeps you here? Who's in control? It's not really us. We're just here to do the work of some source that's bigger than us. At least that's my perspective. That's how I've lived my life. That's how it works for me. And that's what's been proven to me multiple times in multiple ways. One of the things that is really important in terms of authenticity and your inner voice is being clear on when you get the messages, is it your inner voice or is it your ego? Because they both come inside of you. No one hears them but you. They have different purposes. Your inner voice is there to really ground you, to support you, to guide you, to respond to your needs. Your ego is there to be the best, to stand up, stand out. Here am I. Look who I am. Look what I do. And ego is important, but when it gets out of whack is when it gets to be a problem. I know I've had to watch my ego and the environment I was born in and the values that they had. I had to modify them along the way and realize, you know, we're all the same. We're 99% the same. It's that 0.1% that makes us different. That's your authenticity. That's your authenticity. But the 99.9% should certainly be respected in everybody else, because we all do the same things in the same way. We feel the same things. We may interpret them differently, but we all feel the same things. And respecting how other people feel and interpret is really important. But today I want to talk to you about my journey to connecting with my inner voice and how it happened and how it has sustained itself over the decades. So I told you about my problem with my ear. When I was 8, I had a hole in my eardrum that actually I had infections for 55 straight years and took antibiotics for 40 of those years. Really shaped my life in so many ways. But the problem I was having at 8 is that the only way they could stop the infection was to put an acid feeling substance inside of my ear. The doctor had to hold me down and they actually put this thing and they dipped it into my ear. And by the time it touched my ear, it felt like acid. And I just howled it and howled it and howled it and howled it. It was so, so painful. And all the way home, I keep telling my mother to slow down because every time she would roll over a rock or something or hit a pothole, the liquid in my ear would find a new place to hurt. And I had to go back and have it done again and again. And that was followed by another year of ear aches that could not be stopped. The doctors tried medicine and drops, shots, pills, everything, nothing to stop it. But anyway, in the process of all of this, the adults in my life, while they were, helpful, they didn't understand how deep the pain was. They really didn't understand the kind of help I needed to deal with, to handle that pain at 8 years old. And I'm walking to school one day at 8, and the voices start speaking to me. I said, okay, I knew about God and all that. My grandfather was a Baptist minister, and I just, just had an understanding of that and acceptance of that. But I said to the voices, I said, okay, look, if you're the voice I should really listen to, prove it to me. Show me. Now I had to think, what am I going to say? And I thought about a girlfriend of mine, and we had just had a conversation the last week. And she said, when I see boys with red socks, it makes me itch. Who knows why? Strange. So I said, okay, show me in a week somebody with red socks. Let somebody with red socks walk by. And also, why don't you show me, let somebody mention the word elephant in the conversation. And I let it go. And sure enough, I asked to see that in a week. And in a week, somebody walked by with red socks and somebody else mentioned the word elephant. I said, ooh, that's interesting. And let's do it again. So the second week I did something similar. I don't remember what I asked the second week, but I asked the same thing. And in the week it showed up. Now it was like a game to me, right? So by the fifth week, the voices say, well, do you believe me now? I said, yeah, okay, I believe you. And then I have been in relationship with that voice ever since I was 8 years old. It guides me, it leads me. It gives me direction, it gives me confirmation. So when I think about confirmation, as autopilot gets in, you forget those things. As a matter of fact, I had about a decade, I forgot all about my ear. My maybe late 20s and 30s. And that's when you're really working to get life going and figuring out what you're going to do and working hard and all that stuff. My ear was, I go to the doctor for the infection, sure, but I forgot about the pain and how deeply it was. But it came back to remind me, and it's been, as I said, a major part of my life and my growth. And I explain all these things in more detail in other parts of my program, which we'll talk about on Friday. But I'm a fast forward to 2018. Which of course was not long ago. And it's Thanksgiving Day. And there's a Toastmaster friend of mine. Many of you may know Jose. And Jose and I are friends. Jose actually translated one of my books for me into Spanish. And he came by that morning. We were talking about something with speaking or whatever. And I looked down and Jose is wearing red socks. I said, oh, that's interesting. So I wonder if I'm going to hear the word elephant in the next week. So, and I said, so I spoke to my voice. I said, well, if I'm on the right path, give me a confirmation. I was making a little shift in my business. I said, if that's the right path I should do, would you give me confirmation and just mention the word elephant in the next week? So about 4 days later, I was watching Steve Harvey's Family Feud. And one of the answers, guy said elephant. I said, oh, well, there was elephant. But I said, it's not close enough. It's too distant. That's like a big elephant. That's like a TV elephant. I need something that's more personalized. Sure enough, 1 week later on Thursday, I'm at Myoshi's, another friend of mine, is doing a presentation, and I wanted to go and support her. And I think she's also a Toastmaster. And in the presentation, she talks about baby elephants and how they tie their tail to a pole that's stuck on the ground. And the elephants go around in a circle and as they get older, they never go beyond the circle because that's what their understanding of what life is. We kind of talked about that yesterday, I think, about your life understanding. And so there was elephant. I said, that's personal, that'll work. I said, there it is again, how about that? So it's very exciting when this happens, but the most exciting thing was, I think it was the next year, 2019, before COVID. I was giving presentations. I mentioned I own the Speaker Bureau. So one of the things I do is I train speakers or coach speakers to be facilitators and also certify coaches to use my authenticity process in their coaching business. And I had just finished training a group, just got back into it. And some of the ones that were there, Marie, for example, Ida Marie, who's on the call, were at that event. And before the event, I went upstairs. I have a stash of orange things for when I do events. And I said, I need something for the table or something. And I was looking and I saw something and I said, oh my gosh, I forgot I had that. And I now call this my mascot. It was given to me by my husband My husband was murdered 6 years ago. And about 2 or 3 years before he was murdered, he gave me this gift. And I didn't realize the importance of it then, but when I picked it up on this day before we spoke, it said to me, "I'm your mascot." And you'll never believe it is, I like orange, right? It's an orange elephant with red socks. Now, is that confirmation or what? All right. So I say to you that you have that same ability to create that kind of partnership that even decades later, you still get confirmation. You still get confirmation. So you're going to talk about that in your breakout room today. Your inventory for this evening is for you to think about what two things, what's your red socks and elephant? What two things will you ask your inner voice, your spirit, your guide, whatever you call it, to reveal to you in the next 2 weeks? Give it 2 weeks, or give it 1 or 2 weeks, whichever you choose. If you're already somewhat connected, 1 week. If you're not connected or don't feel that connected, then give it 2 weeks. But I also have another way you can do it that would be short, and I'm gonna tell you what I've done with this. So I had a celebrity at one time very interested in me, and it was a very exciting time. And you know how you meet someone sometimes and it's just kind of crazy, and it was crazy, and I knew I had to manage this energy, because if I didn't manage this energy, this guy even asked me to travel. And when I got the invitation, but while it was greatly exciting, my voice said, "If you travel with him, you'll forget about me." And I said, "Yeah, I know, no question." And I said, "Well, can I play a little bit, And I said, "Well, if I should even get involved at all, will you please confirm it for me?" So he had a good friend named Alexander. And I said, "If it's okay for me to connect with him for a little bit, let me see Alex or Alexander 3 times today. And then I'll know that it's okay." So, and I forgot about it. Then I'm watching the news. I'm watching NBC News. And here comes the news journalist, Alexander somebody, who's still working with them. I said, "Oh, there's one." And we were doing the expo. We do a Black Business Expo we were doing when it was up in Los Angeles some years ago. And on my way to Trader Joe's to get some food for the expo, I saw a license plate and it said Alex. I said, "Oh, it's 2. And it's only been 2 hours. Goodness, this is something." And then the rest of the day went by and nothing else happened. And then at the expo, I would present speakers. And one of our speakers that day was Mother Love. So she was involved with us at that point in time. And sure enough, as she's talking, she talks about Alexander. I said, "Oh my gosh, that's 3. And I said, "Well, I guess the door is open. I'm covered, I'm good." And yesterday, Cindy mentioned sage. Before I did anything, I got some sage and used it for like an hour to cleanse the energy around me. And it was a very happy and exciting 3-year relationship, but I got the confirmation. So I got the partnership to make sure I stayed cool, make sure I stayed straight and didn't go off half-cocked in the process of this relationship. That was a lot of fun. So your assignment then is in your breakout rooms today to just have a conversation, what I just shared. What do you think you might ask? If you were going to ask for something and to happen in one day, what would you ask for to be shown, and how would you ask for it? So just have a conversation about that. So let's go 15 minutes so you can have a chance for good. And again, 3 people in the room, Yuki. And if, well, I was going to say timekeeper, but I don't think you need a timekeeper. So like each person gets 5 minutes. But I would ask if there's someone in your room who's one of my current clients, to please be the timekeeper in your room. Or if there's more than one of you, then you can pick. Then if there's none of you, then someone else can grab it. But 5 minutes each, 3 people in a room. And I'll stop in and check on you guys. So go for it. Yuki will assign you to the room. Welcome back. Others are on their way coming back in. And I can't wait to hear some of the feedback. I heard some good stuff. I stopped in every room and every room was having some kind of interesting conversation. I was like a fly on the wall.
Literally.
So do you want us to say something?
I'm going to ask in a few minutes for people that would like to share as soon as, tell me when everybody is back, please. Maybe I'll do the big view. I can't see. Oh, you are back. Good. So I would like for some of you to share what happened in your room. I felt like a fly in the wall. I jumped in on some interesting conversations, like some I didn't want to say a thing because it was getting too deep. And some was really, really special. So who would like to share? Raise your hand. And I would love to have someone from each room to share something. That would be really great. Okay, Rico, you go first. Unmute yourself. And everybody on the bottom of your screen where you see reactions, you can click that. You can see where it says raise hand. Okay. And you can raise your hand. And that way we'll know you, that I know you're on the list. Okay, Rico, go ahead, please.
Yes, I was in a room with a beautiful lady, Stacy Jennings, and I want to leave enough time for her to say something because, you know, these breakouts probably need an hour. But anyway, we talked about our paths are so similar because we both got interested in what you're doing, and it helps us with our inner being. But the bottom line that we both agreed on is it helps us in a way that we can make a difference in life, make a difference in ourselves and make a difference in other people's lives. But you need to have sensible tools when you go on that journey. And that's what we're doing in a collective way. But she may want to expound on some things too, but I want to leave time for everybody else as well.
Because it really is a short time. Stacey, you want to say a word?
Sure, I'll say something really quick. Thanks, Rico. It was wonderful. Norma, these breakout rooms is amazing. There's magic that happens in these rooms. And Rico is correct. We have similar paths, and it was an amazing story. And one thing that we also talked about was, without saying it, it was being our authentic selves, learning who we are on this journey, and to the point to where we are now, and how we listen to the spirit and allow it to lead us now, the spirit in our inner voice to lead us right now.
Yes.
So thank you.
My pleasure. Well, the spirit was really working. I saw magic in the rooms, and I just have to ask Abigail or Stevie, I think her name is, one of you have to share what happened in your room. I happen to overhear this happening. So Abigail or Stevie, would you please unmute yourself? They're both shy. Come on, girls.
Abigail, you want to go?
Let's see there. There you go. See there.
Okay, we can tell the story together.
There we go.
So when we first went into the breakout room, the first thought that I had for the confirmation was this red stone heart that my daughter and I saw in a store, and we were both really drawn to. It was like a shiny stone heart. So I thought, okay, that'll be the first thing. And then when I got into the room with Stevie, I said that. So I think the first one's a red heart. And then I had this little flash of an image come across my mind of a particular type of flower, which I can't actually think of the name of the flower, but it's sort of this really intense pink flower. So when I shared that with Norma, she said, okay, well, that's it. Like if you got that little like insight, then it's it. Then Stevie reaches into her little bowl, which is on her counter, and she can tell the rest of the story.
Unmute yourself, Stevie. Oh, there's the bowl she's showing us. Okay.
There's a red bowl that I keep on my mantle. These are glass beads in here, so you don't give them to your grandkids. But last night I dumped them out for them to play with. And in it,
a red heart. Yes.
a red heart. And I've never let them play with it before, but there it was I forgot it was in there just for Abigail. Confirmation.
So, the confirmation that fast. You see how fast it can work? So first of all, you have to believe in it. You have to believe that it can work. If you doubt that it will work, it won't. But you have to believe. So between my beautiful elephant and that beautiful red heart you just saw, do you believe is the question. Do you believe? And if you believe, magic happens. You have magic in you, and you can bring the magic out if you just allow it to happen. Just allow it to happen. So when you get your inventory in a couple of hours, you may have already decided. And as Abigail's already seen her one confirmation already, all she had to do was mention it and bam, there it shows up. That's called authenticity. That's called alignment. That's called synchronicity. And authenticity happens a lot when you are synchronized with the unseen supporters that are around you. So much for you to think about over the day, much for you to ask for. I'm going to tell you one other story that I did when I was in my 20s. And I began to recognize certain numbers would show up in my life. And I would, when I got in my car, I would drive and I'd look for these 3 numbers. And they'd always be on some cars near me, 234, 234, 432, 423, however. Now those numbers have led me my entire life. So when I'm in LA, where I live now, I was in Detroit then, and my girlfriend from LA was staying with me for a while, helping with my business, and we drive around, I tell her about the 234, and sure enough, there they were. But now they weren't on 3 cars, they'd be on 1 car, 234, 432, 243, whatever. She took my car and go out. She says, you know, Norma, you're right. When I'm out in your car, I never see those numbers, but I'm with you, they always show up. So whenever I'm out and about, I look in front of me, and so often those numbers are right there, which is a confirmation you're on the right path. If I find the numbers are real quirky and nowhere near my 234, I really kind of stop and pause. Let me just reevaluate, what am I doing? Where am I at right now? What am I doing? Where am I going? Do I really need to go there, etc. But if I see 234 anywhere nearby in any combination, you know, the sense of peace and assurance comes over me, because I've had years of partnership and therefore years of assurance. And that's what gets you truly authentic. Synchronicities happen, manifestations happen, joy is there, and it's all available to you. So you've seen evidence of it today, and I suggest you figure out what you want to ask for in the next day and just see what happens. Don't put a lot of left brain to it. Just go with it in the right brain. Just be open and be observant. It might be on a TV show. It might be on an internet thing that you opened. It might be something someone says. It might be on a billboard as you're driving around. It might be on the car frame, license plate in front of you. Who knows where it might be? It might be in a book that you're reading. But just be observant, be aware. So tomorrow we're going to talk about alignment and your style. It's a little bit more. It's a little bit taking a little bit back to the left brain a little bit, but giving you the balance, because authenticity is balancing left and right brain. It's balancing the 2 sides of yourself. It's balancing the inner and the outer so that they're synchronized so that you can come forward in a way that's appropriate for you. Now, I do have a couple of bonus gifts for you today, for everybody. One bonus gift, and Linda, you put it, I think you're going to send it to them in the email coming today. But one is my, what I call my joy meditations. It's 5 meditations that will help you to relax and calm. Because getting into your authentic voice, a lot of it is reflection. You know, life does not give you a chance to reflect a lot. And reflection means being in a meditative state. So they're all joy meditations that talk about the word, jumping over yesterday, I forgot, they're all spelling out joy as an acronym or something. And the second bonus is you are all invited to have a Q&A with me today at 3:30 Pacific time. So as you go through the day and you have some questions about what's happening, or you just want to get in and just be around for another hour, from 3:30 to 4:30 today Pacific time, the link will be in the email that Linda is sending you. And I invite you to come and have some more time. I'm not going to teach as much, and I'll coach and answer questions. So you have a full hour to ask whatever you want, anything on authenticity, anything on inner voice, anything on spirit that I might be able to answer, anything on the programs that we offer, the people that we've been in the program, whatever that might be on your mind that I can help with. 3:30 to 4:30, you'll get the link for that. No charge, just come on and let's talk. Be happy to do that. And then you have your inventories to do. So that's coming. Any last minute questions that anyone wants to ask? Everybody good? Then let me just ask Yuki to take us out with our beautiful music. Oh, let me first, Joy has a question. Joy, unmute yourself and go ahead.
Okay. Hello, Norman. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. This is my first time of joining. I joined yesterday, but I didn't really get into the training. My network had issues. So I just want to really find out this inner voice. How do you recognize it? I'm sorry if I'm taking you back. How do you recognize it? Because at times, so many voices are speaking to you. Oh, I need to do this. I want to achieve this. I need to go here. How do you know that this is the voice that you should listen to?
That's a multifaceted question, but the short answer is, and you can get the recording from yesterday to get a little deeper in it. If you think about how you answer yourself when you ask these 3 questions that you ask every day: what am I going to eat? What am I going to wear? What time is it? And you get an answer in a in your senses. You hear something, you see something, you feel something, and one of your 6 senses is how you get that response. And if you see and assess how yours comes, that's a clue to how the voice speaks to you. And then with today's exercise, gives you confirmation of what you learned yesterday. So if you kind of put them together, it helps you to do that. We have that ego in our mind, and the inner voice always seeks to take you deeper, to keep you on your path, to be your foundation, to be your support. It's not there just to make you great, give you more money. That's not the purpose of the inner voice. Inner voice can lead you to more money, but it wants you to follow the path of your purpose. It is difficult when the monkey mind gets busy, because the monkey mind will be chattering in you all the time. We have to individually take control of our thoughts. Our thoughts create our reality. And thoughts, thoughts are like things. They're always flying in the ethers, in the unseen world. And people pick up thoughts at the same time. They say that Thomas Edison is not the first one that invented the light bulb. He's the first one that got it to market. Okay, because the thought was there in the ethers. It was picking up. I was amazed when I started looking for music to use, how many songs are called authenticity. I spent about a couple hours listening to all these authenticity songs because it's in the ethers. I picked it up early, 20 years ago. Some are just picking it up now. So the same thoughts you're getting, what I told thoughts a long time ago is, look, you come back to me 3 times and I'll listen to you. So that's how I've been able to control and create the partnership. So if a thought comes to me, I used to want to, okay, I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go do this. Linda knows, I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go do this. Can't do all those things. It's not possible. So you have to have some control over it. So the important ones are going to come back. They're going to get your attention, just like that red heart got Abigail's attention as a reinforcement. The important thoughts are going to come back. So my instruction to thoughts is, when you come back to me 3, if I find myself, I'm going to do that. Nope. It's got to come back 2 times. Prove to me that that's what I'm supposed to do. Because I got all kinds of energies maybe trying to get my attention. I only want to respond to the one that's for my best good. And I know that one's going to keep coming back. So that's how I would suggest, those kind of thoughts, put that together. But talk to the thought. Tell it, if you're right for me, come back. Come back and let me know 3 times. And then you'll recognize, oh, you're back. Come back 1 more time and then we'll talk. And that keeps your thoughts more in control. And you're creating your own boundaries that way. I hope that answered your question. Any more questions? Bring them at 3:30. All right. I will see you guys. It's been a delight. I hope to see you at 3:30. Look forward to talking with you then. Kisses back at you. Absolutely.
And save the chat.
Oh, and save the chat. Yes, yes.
Oh, troubled world, troubled world. Out there searching what's real? Is anybody?
Seeking, searching, trying to find solace for your troubled mind. The one thing that will set you free is your authenticity.
I gotta live my life in a way that brings joy to my spirit, celebrates who I am, explores my divinity, being true to myself, helps me peel back the layers to reveal my true identity and unfold my authenticity. I live my life with no regard for the norm, don't yield to the hype or the quiet storm, divinely guided, living from the inside out. If you compromise my soul, I got to do without it. I'm in the world with something real to do, and I'm nothing if I can't be true. The only path for me is one of liberty, true justice and authenticity. I gotta live my say I had my nose up. I did it my way, the do or die way. Was never ever afraid to hit the highway. Holding on too long was not a problem for me because the Lord, my soul, I gotta live my life in a way that brings joy to my spirit. Celebrates who I am, explores my divinity. Being true to myself helps me peel back the layers to reveal my true identity.
All right. Thanks, everybody. See you tomorrow.